Alright, next in the list of how CG released this batch of kit reveals was Inquisitor Barriss. So I would assume that she will be the third one to come to the game. This is kind of boring because there's still no pictures, there's still no little gifts other than the ones that were for Stormtrooper Luke, but whatever, I guess. Let's just get into this. So, we have Inquisitor Barriss. She's obviously dark side. She's a healer, leader, Empire Inquisitor, and unaligned Force user, which, pretty self-explanatory. That's what they all are. Well, besides the healer, but otherwise they all have leader abilities for some reason. They're all Empire, they're all Inquisitors, and they're all unaligned. So, the penultimate character releasing in the era of Anniversary is the dark side version of Barriss Offee. Inquisitor Barriss. Penultimate. That means second to last. But this is only number 3 that I'm doing. They told us about 6. So, what? Is this way out of order? Oh well. This version of the character references her story arc in the animated Tales of the Empire series. In this story, she is released from prison, where she has been ever since her heel turn in the Clone Wars animated series, in order to serve under Darth Vader and the Grand Inquisitor as their newest Inquisitor sister. After the era ends, we are envisioning her leading her own squad of Inquisitorius, consisting of 2nd Sister, 9th Sister, 8th Brother, and 5th Brother. For 3v3 Grand Arenas, she'll do best with 9th Sister and 2nd Sister rounding out that team. Inquisitor Barriss's Era Marquee event begins on January 13th at 11 a.m. Pacific. So they think that she's supposed to be a new leader of the Inquisitors, basically? What about, 9th Sister? What about... Or Reva? What was she? 3rd Sister, right? Not 9th. 3rd. What about Reva? She's been, the go-to now. Even Grand Inquisitor. What's supposed to happen with these legacy good leaders? They basically want us to break up the whole entire Inquisitor squad to use Fallen Barriss? It's kind of weird. I guess we'll see what her leader ability is all about when we get there. Maybe it is worth it. Who knows? Anyhow, her basic. Enfeebling Strike. Deal special damage to target enemy and inflict them with a stack of Purge, max 6, until the end of the encounter. Unaligned Force user allies recover 5% health and protection. Gain 5 Siphon, which can't be dispelled until the end of the encounter. Design notes. This ability has 2 main highlights, Purge and Siphon. She, being an Inquisitor, has to have Purge. We could have made it an irresistible one, but it being resistible has a nice synergy with Special 2. But on top of that, we also wanted her to siphon crit damage from her enemies. We have put her siphon stacks back in her basic since it combines well with her out-of-turn attacks. Synergy. Special 2 has an interaction with Purge, and this is Barriss's main contribution in that area. Inspiration. Since this ability is the key part of siphoning crit damage from enemies, the name of Enfeebling Strike suited it. They keep referencing Special 2, and we're only talking about the basic right now. We're not even on Special 1 yet, alright. Special 1, Force Corruptor, cooldown 3. Dispel all buffs and deals special damage to all enemies. Inflict buff immunity for 2 turns on target enemy and siphon critical damage from them. If target enemy had 6 stacks of Purge, buff immunity can't be resisted and lower the cooldown of Flicker of the Light by 1. That must be her Special 2's name. Siphon critical damage. Gain a percentage of critical damage equal to this unit's siphon until the end of the encounter, and the target loses that much critical damage. Stacking excludes raid bosses and Galactic Legends. Design notes. In addition to AoE buff Dispel, which is already strong, she uses this ability to steal critical damage from enemies based on her siphon attacks. Inspiration. The ability name reflects her journey as she manipulates the very powers she once used to heal, now bending them to serve the Empire's sinister needs. What was it called again? Force Corruptor. Synergy. We siphon critical damage in Special 2, Flicker of the Light. What? We siphon critical damage and Special 2. Flicker of the Light will share some of that with Inquisitorius attackers when used. What? What does that mean? We siphon critical damage. Is that a name of one of her moves or something? Or I don't know. Fact. Does the siphon hit all enemies, or just the enemy you had targeted when you used the ability? It will only siphon from the target enemy, but the dispel and damage will hit all of them. Okay. Special do, Flicker of the Light, cooldown 4, and it has a Zeta. Dispel all debuffs on unaligned Force user allies, and they have their current health percentages equalized. Okay, so that's the same as what Barriss does already for light side things. All unaligned Force user allies recover 10% health and protection. Recover an additional 5% health and protection for each stack of Purge that has been consumed by Inquisitorious allies or resisted by enemies in this battle. Max 60%. Inquisitor Barriss grants 20% of her critical damage, stacking to allied Inquisitorious attackers until the end of battle. Design note: the additional recovery part takes advantage of her Purge from her basic being resistible, since it enables her to grant additional healing against high tenacity enemies. Also, this answers the question of why she would accumulate critical damage as a healer, because she has the ability to distribute her critical damage to her allied Inquisitorious attackers. Inspiration. Though consumed by the Empire, she shows the conflict within herself and the lingering possibility of redemption, or Flicker of the Light. Conflict within herself. Oh, so she's like Kylo? But this doesn't make any sense because she was... Well, I guess Kylo was kind of on the light side before as well. I don't know, doing the dark side stuff's kind of funny, I guess. It's just like they get cranky and they're just like, and they go to the dark side and they're like, I don't want to be over here anymore. I want to go back. I want to be good and heal my friends. Leader. Those left behind. Inquisitorious allies gain 20% max health, and at the start of each of the turns, they recover 8% health based on Inquisitor Barriss' max health. Isn't that kind of like her Jedi leader ability? Whenever an enemy gains a stack of Purge, Inquisitorious allies gain 3 heal over time for 2 turns. Whenever Purge is resisted by an enemy or dispelled on them, Inquisitor allies gain 10% offense, stacking for 1 turn. While in 3v3 Grand Arenas, and if Grand Inquisitor is not an ally... Now, this didn't tell us anything about Zeta or Omicron or anything, but clearly it's an Omicron. So anyways, when you're in 3v3 and you don't have Grand Inquisitor, Inquisitorious allies gain 30% critical chance and 50% critical damage. Whenever an Inquisitorious ally critically hits an enemy, that enemy gains a stack of Purge, max 6, which can't be resisted until the end of the encounter. Allied Second Sister is immune to Daze and Stun, and whenever Inquisitor Barriss uses an ability, Second Sister assists. This assist will be a critical hit if able. Okay, so they said to put her with Ninth Sister and Second Sister, and this one has special bonuses for Second Sister at least. At the end of each Inquisitor Barriss turns, reduce the cooldown of Second Sister's abilities by 1. Okay. Design notes. Actually, real quick before we carry on, Second Sister is... That's the one that offers the heal, right? So, like, she's not even that good other than her heal, but... Okay. Anyways, design notes. The main strength of Inquisitorious is Purge, but against AoE, Dispels, and high resistance enemies, it becomes very difficult for them to inflict enough Purge stacks. This ability attempts to ease that pain by giving bonus offense for 1 turn whenever Mass Dispel or multiple consecutive Purge stacks are resisted. Also, for her Omicron, she has direct callouts to Second Sister since she is an Inquisitor usually left out of the main squad. And Inquisitor Barriss helps her become a strong damage dealer once you are assembling a 3v3 squad for Grand Arena. She has direct callouts to Second Sister since she's an Inquisitor usually left out of the main squad? Hold on a minute, let me check something out. Okay, so I'm looking at the Inquisitors, and it looks like I was wrong. 7th Sister is the one I was thinking of with the heals. So they're right, Second Sister usually is left out. I don't use her that often. Which is actually kind of ironic, because when I was learning about the Inquisitors and such, I did end up giving her Omicron on her leader. But, yeah, I don't usually use her all that often. I don't think she sucks, I just... In the grand scheme of things, like when you're building a team, you know, I'm going to put 3rd Sister, Grand Inquisitor, 9th Sister, 7th Sister for heals, and then usually 5th Brother. He's my go-to out of the 2 guys here. 8th Brother is okay, but just not as great, and then 2nd Sister I don't even think about, which is weird, because like I said, she has her Omicron. And then maybe someday Merrick can join in, but for now... So yeah, I guess they're right, nobody does use 2nd Sister. Anyways, inspiration. When the fourth sister kills the almost surrendered Jedi, Barriss promises to dying Jedi that she would not let those who are left behind die. What? When the fourth sister kills the almost surrendered Jedi, Barriss promises the dying Jedi that she would not let those... So she's talking to... The inspiration for this move is about her helping Jedi? Am I reading this right? It seems like she's really helping out Inquisitors. What are you talking about? The inspiration is of her helping out Jedi. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. Fact, how many Omicron materials does it take to unlock the Omicron tier? When an Omicron is only viable on half the battles of the Grand Arena, being restricted to only 3v3 or 5v5, the cost is only 10 Omicron materials. Oh boy. Unique 1, Reflexive Mercy. Allies and enemies can't be revived. Well, that's weird. Okay. It's cool, I guess, if enemies can't be, but allies, that's kind of lame. Whenever an Inquisitorious ally is critically hit, that ally recovers 10% health and protection, and that enemy gains a stack of purge, max 6, until the end of the encounter. This is just like her Jedi version, right? Where if you critically hit, everybody just heals instead. While Ninth Sister is taunting, Allied Second Sister and Inquisitor Barriss have 200% defense and tenacity, and Allied Inquisitor is immune to daze and stun. Whenever an enemy has any number of buffs dispelled, Inquisitor Barriss gains 10% turn meter. Okay. Design note. Being a team-wide source of purge, inflicting it whenever an ally is critically hit, Barriss is going to be a primary target in any battle. With Ninth Sister's passive taunt gaining abilities, Barriss will gain defensive stats. It is expected to attack out of turn a lot via Unique 2 Patience. Accumulate a lot of siphon attacks, and ultimately grant part of her critical damage to allies. This makes for a pretty interesting gameplay loop. Yeah, we'll see. It might sound cool on paper, but once it gets in the game, it's probably going to be like, blah. Synergy. This ability has direct callouts to the Second Sister and the Ninth Sister. Yup, we saw that. What the heck? Like, no, really? Inspiration. Even while Barriss was serving the Empire, by heart, she had always shown mercy, be it for her fellow Empire or her enemies. Now the unique 2 that they referenced, Patience, which every single Inquisitor has. I don't know why they make it so every single Inquisitor has Patience, and they all have a leader ability. It's kind of weird, but anyway. At the start of battle, if all allies, minimum 3, are Inquisitorious, this character gains 20% max health, max protection, and potency. Whenever another ally is critically hit by an enemy, this character has a 20% chance to gain 100% turn meter. Limit once per turn. Whenever an Inquisitorious ally damages an enemy with Purge, this character assists. Whenever Purge is consumed or dispelled on an enemy, this character gains 3% turn meter. Design note. This ability is very similar to the other Inquisitorious's Patience ability, except it allows her to assist her allies whenever they damage an enemy inflicted with Purge. This fits well with the gameplay loop stated in the previous ability. Yes, all characters have Patience, and it's all kind of similar. Well, not all characters, but all Inquisitors. And it's all kind of similar, just like how all GLs have GL, and it means that they can't have, like, massive damage, and they take a reduced percentage from damage over time moves, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so that's it. There's, like, the kit reveal from Inquisitor Barriss. I gotta say, this words-only crap is kind of hard to, like, visualize what's happening and fully understand. It's just text. It's kind of boring. I hate this new way. I hope CG, this is a one and done. Like, they try it, it failed, and they're just like, whatever. We'll go back to the normal way. Anyways, that is all I got. So, thanks for checking this one out with me. And until next time, I said see ya.